Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we got a goodie. Subsector Sourcebook Cascadia for Clement Sector 3rd edition, written by John Watts. This is a good book. I liked it a lot. These were sent to me by the folks at Independence Games. Take a look at, and I'm happy to share it with you. I decided that this time I would mark one or two areas that I thought were really of particular interest. I ended up with 5. So we're going to take a look at the book, we're going to page through it, and we're going to take a look at a couple of things that really caught my attention. Also today, just in general, subscribers, please. Subscription is slow just a little bit. I realize this summer I'd like to pick it back up. Also, Patreon, if you can help me out, that'd be great. It hasn't been a lot of activity on Patreon lately. To my existing subscribers and patrons, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But back to the important stuff today. Subsector Sourcebook Cascadia for Clement Sector 3rd edition from Independence Games, today on page 121. All right, Cascadia Subsector for Clement Sector 3rd edition. These are beautiful books. I love the way they're put together. I love the elegant blue spine, or blue lines rather, with the black spine. Very pretty books. Again, I want to thank the folks at Clement Sector, at Independence Games rather, for sending these my way. I've really enjoyed reading these. So we're going to take a look. Here we go. Got the opening Subsector source book, and the author is John Watts. Chance was a concept by Greg Seaborn. Sluren, a concept by Kevin Smith. And some dedication. Gannon, Hendershot, and Campbell, dedicated to Amstead Friends. And some fine Ian Stead artwork in here, along with Bradley Warrens and Steve Atwood. And world maps, system maps and world maps by John Watts. These are nice. This is a nice series of books. I love starting out with some kind of mood-setting poster like this. Cascadia, Colonization Authority. Dare the adventure, join the crew in the CCA. We've got an uplift there with a human. That's just cool. Okay, table of contents. And here we are, the subsector itself. And all the listings. This is for any kind of 2x6 science fiction role-playing game, specifically Cepheus Engine. We get the introduction, which tells us a little bit of the history of Cascadia, and then we get the first couple of planets. Now, as I was reading through this, I decided, okay, this time I'm going to actually bookmark a couple of things I want to talk about during the video, and I'll limit it to 3. That way it won't get too overwhelming. I ended up with 5, and at that I had to cull a few that I was really interested in. John Watts writes a book that makes me think. I just really enjoy some of the ideas I get out of these books, and the flavor is second to none. So here we get a nice look at Majera, and all the government. We get the government details, population details, legal details, and cultural details. A lot of the meat for this book is in these kind of details. The planet itself, the planet geography and geology, the hydrographics, all that. It's very interesting. The orbits for the planets, the inbound Zim points, the outbound Zim points, all very important. But where I really like these books is in the details of the people that live there, the folks that make the place something important. That's what I enjoy reading these for. And there's a lot of flavor in these books. So I'm going to just kind of go through. There's another Naya Hururu in Cascadia 0104 with a nice breakdown. I love these. And then here we go. The first one I stopped at. Why did I stop here? There's 600 million people living on this planet, and they're ruled by a guy named Raymond. I really like that idea. Raymond galvanized opposition to the existing government, and now replaced the bureaucracy he once called ineffective and slow with his own brand of quick and effective government. Raymond is entering his 10th year of rule, and while Raymond has started off as a benevolent dictator, things have started fray at the edges. While on many subjects the population of Nyahururu still find Raymond to be a fair ruler, Raymond has stifled free speech, weapons ownership, and on several occasions violated private property ownership, something he himself championed in his rise to power. Raymond is a very religious man, and he doesn't make it a religious dictatorship, but his religion does slop over into the details of government. Raymond's word is law. Quite simply, if Raymond wants you jailed, you will be jailed. I just thought that was neat. I also like the idea that the entire planet is run by a guy named Raymond, and immediately thought of everybody loves Raymond. That would be my slogan if I was Raymond. uh, all forms of recreational drugs are highly illegal here. Raymond security forces are dedicated to locating and disrupting any illegal smuggling of these kinds of means out of the planet. They use electronic means, physical searches. Travel is unrestricted, but you have to be ready to be stopped and searched anytime for any reason. One of the other things I really liked about this, on this planet, there's a great emphasis placed on entertainment, and public speaking is entertainment. Often residents of the planet would rather go to a central meeting area and hear several public speakers, or to see a play performed, than most any other activity. While holovids and other forms of entertainment, they call it distance entertainment. And it does okay here, but it doesn't do great. They like their entertainment in person. I thought that was really neat. I love the term distance entertainment. The idea that a pre-recorded show is inferior intrinsically to something you're performing live, even if that something you're performing live is a council meeting. I just thought that was a really interesting twist on a planetary society. So between Raymond and distance entertainment, I chose this section. Now we go to Fairfax. Oh, Raymond has a city he's named after himself too. The city was founded and then was a boomtown gold mine named Naren. And then after it went bust, it sat for a long time until Raymond decided to build his capital there. Lots of role playing sitting in that little section. Then we go to Fairfax. And again, we get all the inner system, the outer system, the remote system. We get the planetary map. Love all this stuff. Love the detail. We get all the government and legal details. All kinds of stuff. Nice quick look at the cities. The orbital area. And then we go again to another one called Monroe. Same kind of layout. And Monroe was another one I stopped at. Because Monroe has 2 billion people, and they are ruled by a bureaucracy in the city of Keystone. All government functions, from formation of law to the implementation of law, are carried out by one or more departments in the bureaucracy. And here's the layout that I really got a kick out of. For instance, there's been a murder. The Department of Investigative Services will come out and see that someone is dead. At that point, they will turn the case over to the Department of Investigative Services, Homicide Division, which is a separate department. The body will be turned over to the Department of Forensic Science if an autopsy is to be performed, or over to the Department of Life Services, Coroner Division. If someone is believed to be the killer, then the arrest of that person will be turned over to the Department of Corrections Arresting Services. The accused will be held by them until such time as to hand the accused to the Department of Justice for Homicide Division, where the accused will be given a trial. If found guilty, the killer will be turned over to the Department of Justice Incarceration Division, unless his chosen representative from the Department of Justice Legal Services Homicide choose to file an appeal with the Department of Justice Homicide Appeals. Each department has 10 levels, with 0 being the person just hired for the job and the 10th being the head of the department. I just think that's wonderful. The wheels of bureaucracy just grind to a halt on this planet. The idea that somebody has to go out there and say, well, yeah, he's dead. Okay, your turn. And then another team comes out and they, oh, yeah, he's dead, but it was murder. Oh, okay. I just found that really fun. There's a lot of stuff you could do. And I couldn't help but picture a bunch of BUAPs running around running this particular government. I know they don't exist in Clement sector, but that is what jumped to mind. So here we go. Some more looks at the city. We look at our next system. This is just beautiful. If you're looking for a chance to just sit down and just do some, I consider it light reading. My wife had a movie on that she liked. I was particularly interested in the movie, so I went ahead. Or it was actually not a movie. I'm sorry, it was a baking show, and I was particularly interested in it. So I sat here and read this, and that was a good way to kill the evening. Okay, and here we go. This is Rockskilda, or Rockskilled, depending on how you want to say it. And the government details. This one cracked me up. All government functions are controlled by one man, the enlightened one, who claims to speak for the spirit of the universe. The spirit of the universe inhabits the enlightened one, and he dictates all laws and regulations to lesser functionaries and bureaucrats, who then perform these actions. The will and whim of the enlightened one is the law on Rockskill. These lesser functionaries work in a bureaucratic structure. What really got me was the enlightened one, how becomes the enlightened one. The enlightened one is chosen by a series of popular votes of all citizens of Rockskill. Citizens may nominate any qualified candidate for the office as long as they do not nominate themselves. Candidates must be male, resident of Rockskill for at least 10 local years and over the age of 18. That's it. That's your requirement. However, campaigning for this position is seen as a sign that the man is not the choice of the spirit of the universe. It is believed that the spirit moves within all residents of Rockskill, and that throughout this zeitgeist, the people will choose the proper leader. Being seen to desire the position is to be seen to be attempting to override the will of the spirit. I love that idea. You win this office by not running for it. You could have any kind of maniac or lunatic put into this, and he wouldn't even have to pass any real vetting process. They would just say, well, the spirit of the universe said he can do it. Candidates are voted upon. If one of the candidates receives more than 50% of the vote, he is made to be the enlightened one. If this majority is not reached, there's a second election with the top 6 candidates. The process is repeated if there's no majority, then the process is repeated again with 4 candidates, then with 2. During these additional elections, it is permissible for the candidate to begin to campaign. This is often done by having ads appear in hollows, which are disseminated throughout the WorldNet to homes across the planet. There are often a series of debates which allow the candidates to state why they feel they are the choice of the spirit. The position of the enlightened one is for life. If the enlightened one dies, the election process begins within 3 local days of his death. That's just wonderful. Talk about a recipe for anarchy. I love that idea, and I love the idea that there are, how many people on this planet? 900 million people who are going by this system. It gave me a real chuckle when I read it. Okay, coming to the next sector. This is Hendershot. And 50 million people live in Hendershot. And by the way, bypassing some of these does not mean that I didn't like them. I did. There's actually nothing in this book that I found bad, but I'm highlighting the ones that really gave me a chuckle. So a chuckle or just food for thought. So we're going to continue through here, and then we're going to our next subsector, which is Sluren. And Sluren is ruled by the Sluren Brewing Company. The company is headquartered in the city of Stanton. All government functions are handled by divisions of the overall company, which is answerable to the board of directors and ultimately the chief executive officer of the company. The Sluren Brewing Company is the maker of several beers, ales, and ciders that are sold throughout this region of space. The company has some off-world subsidiaries, but the main headquarters, most concerns are here on the planet Sluren. The Sluren Brewing Company was the last company standing, following the Sluren Beer War, which took place from 2290 to 2293, after the colonization of the world. It was discovered that not only there were several native grains growing in the planet, but that things like wheat and barley grew well on the plains of Sluren. Before long, it became the cottage industry. They use an image of their founder, used the founder of Lightning Brewing, which is what became Sluren. Early in the days of the company, the founder, Jason Malberg, decided to place himself in the branding and advertising, using the pseudonym Dranken von Bierstein, drinking a beer. He would extol the virtues of the company's products. Following his death, the company continued to use the image of von Bierstein in its logo and other ads. And then after the formation of Sluren Brewing Company, the use of the mascot continued with caricatures and holography. There are robots and impersonators who make the rounds of local events dressed as the iconic character. Rumors abound that on Sluren and perhaps Malberg is really still alive and is maintaining his hold on the company and the planet, a la the rumors of Walt Disney for all these years. So I love the idea from yeast to west. We're the beer you'll like the best. I just like the idea of an entire company, an entire planet devoted to beer. I'm just, picturing Spuds MacKenzie running around and just some older beer references. I got a kick out of that one. Okay, we're in Gannon. And it's fun because some of these don't like uplifts or altered humans to be part of their population, so there'd be a lot of restrictions on them. Others embrace them, and that's one thing I really like. I just think the idea of uh, different worlds for different creatures, I guess, is pretty cool. Not everybody's accepted everywhere. Okay, now on to the planet Chance. I kind of liked Chance because chance is to provide an enjoyable time. The nature of chance is to provide an enjoyable time to those travelers who have made the journey. As such, customers will find that people working in positions to deal with the public will be deferential, well-groomed, and friendly. Those who do not behave in this manner will soon find themselves in another line of work. However, a certain level of violence is not only permitted on chance, it is often to be expected. Insults or slights, such as loud personal insults, insulting one's friends, lovers, or family, or even dispute over ownership, will be met with corresponding fisticuffs. A fight that results in thrown fists will likely be broken up by local law enforcement with no charges. Dueling is a common accepted practice on chance. These duels are fought with bladed weapons, are fought until first blood from the torso. So no nick on the arm for you. Both locals and visitors are expected to rise to any challenge put forth. The duelists are expected to win without further taunting and to lose gracefully. Winning or losing a duel poorly is considered tantamount to cheating and will be dealt with by local law enforcement as though the person had been caught cheating. I love this idea. I think it's great. It's the opportunity to misinterpret some social interaction and find yourself embroiled in a duel. There's a really good Firefly episode that deals with this subject. Always a fun way, especially when it's somebody who's an expert with the weapon, challenging someone who doesn't know which end of the weapon to hold. These are always bladed weapons, so you have to have some skill with them to have any success with them. I just thought that was really cool. Any medical service provider has to wear red M on their outer clothing and provide aid if any of these fights break out in their presence. Casinos, restaurants, bars, spas, theaters, brothels, and any manner of hedonistic activity can easily be found on chance. Each of these is inspected for health, appearance, and quality. Services of substandard quality will be shut down and not allowed to operate. Prices involved will often hinge on the amount of services provided rather than the quality. I just love the idea. This is just a planet where pretty much anything goes until it doesn't. Once you've crossed that invisible social line, you can find yourself subject to arrest and prosecution. But in the meantime, have fun. Enjoy yourself. Just watch out for that line you can't see. I just thought this was a really, really good touch. This is actually the last of the bookmarked items. That was number 5. Again, not to say, with the 555 Russell is an older casino built to have a certain charm to it. The Arch is a new casino on chance. I just love the idea of basically a planet of gamblers and fistfights. So we continue on with the book, and everything is in the same format. I love that you're getting an entire subsector in one book. Very easy for you if you're going to be running the game to go ahead and just write a note. If it's taking place in Cascadia, you just write a note, okay, page 87, page 92, whatever page you happen to be needing. It's a quick and easy reference that you can throw into your notes, which I always do. I always throw a note reference into my actual, a page reference into my actual notes. I hate fumbling for stuff and forgetting where something is listed. So 9 times out of 10, I will not only have the page bookmarked, I'll have a note in my notes, a page number telling me where to look in case there's an issue while we're playing. So we go to Kiev, and the calendar is based on the local 38-hour day. Boy, you better be ready to deal with that. 38-hour day. That's a long time to be awake. Dim in Cascadia. These are just fun. I love books like this. I'm going to continue paging through, and I'll keep chattering a little bit. We've hit my high notes, and like I said, I had about 8 of these, and I thought, no, I can't do that. I'm only going to bookmark 5. So I was originally only going to bookmark 3, but I kept finding ones I liked. I love chance. I love the idea of a planet of brewers and the other planet. Just the role-playing opportunities for either are just wonderful, and easily pull any of this stuff out of here and put it to any other 2-6 role-playing game. Chance is absolutely going to find its way into some of my stuff. I'm hoping soon to start up a Pirates of Draenix campaign for another 2x6 role-playing game, space role-playing game. And if I do that, Chance is going to be finding its way into that area of space. I have not finished reading Draenix yet, and it's still a while before I hope to get a campaign going, but I would love to. So here we go. Just some more stuff. Cascadia itself. And some more nice artwork. Cascadia, let's see, 80% is covered in water. Wow, okay. And Cascadia is home of over 300 million people. They live in small communities scattered across it. The government is a unicameral representative democracy. Okay. Not unlike the United States, except, of course, we're bicameral. And some more nice artwork. Seen that one before. Saw that one right here. Bookmarks made courtesy of my son, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. I love having these bookmarks, the customized ones. He's always turning out stuff like that. And we're just continuing through the rest of the book. I figured as long as I've gotten this far, I may as well show it cover to cover. I recommend this completely. I found a lot of stuff in here that I'm going to run. A lot of just little ideas. You know, I'll throw in a sentence here or there. My players have no idea it's taken from another source, nor would they care. They just know that it's happening in their game. And a lot of times as we're taking a break or after game and stuff, I'll tell them, oh yeah, I got that from this book or that book. It's fun. I don't try to claim ownership of any of this stuff as far as when I DM. I admit where I get stuff. And the idea that, you know, I'm only DMing original content or GMing original content is, of course, laughable. Everything you run has been told in one form or another. You just haven't found the source in order to credit it. So there you have it. That's Cascadia, Subsector Sourcebook from Independence Games for Clement Sector 3rd Edition. I hope you liked it. I really enjoyed this book. I recommend it highly. It's available on Drive-Thru-RPG as a PDF. It's also available through the Independence Games website. I'll put a link to both. Again, I want to thank the folks at Independence for sending this my way. John Watts, you write a really fun book that I really enjoy reading, and this one was no exception. So that's all I've got today from page 121. I hope you liked Turns Off. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.